time is the essence when it comes to security, and that's where AI, we see, will play a huge role, because it will help you plan better, find vulnerabilities more quickly, because there will be patterns, that we are creating, that will look for those pattern matches and resolve issues in a timely manner.
All right, here we go. Hey, Anseli here. Hey, welcome to another edition of Anseli Live. Got several guests here today. Just wanted to say welcome to everybody. Jeff, hey, thanks for being on here today.
Hey, glad to be here.
And we have our guests today from Siemba, Sandhya, and Kanan. And hey, welcome, guys.
Thank
you so much, Ansel. Really happy to be here today.
Well, glad to have you guys. And I want to say before we really get started on this is we're doing a series from the Fuel Accelerator out of Bentonville, Arkansas, and through each one of the members, participants in the cohort, we're having them on live to be able to talk about their solutions. And this cohort has to do with AI, solutions in AI. So they bring people from all around the world to help them kind of nurture, if you will, their business, accelerate is the magic word, their solution. And so, hey, so today we've got the guys from Siemba, and so again, welcome. And so tell me, if you guys wouldn't mind, Kanan and Sandhya, tell us a little bit about who you are and how you brought this thing together.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Kanan.
Sandhya, why don't you go first? It's your birthday.
Oh, it's her birthday! Yeah.
Birthday. Happy birthday!
Thank you, guys. So Kanan and I met in 2015, I guess, and we met at Home Depot. And we both joined Home Depot when the infamous breach happened. And I was kind of poached from Lowe's, and that's where we met. And, when we worked together, there were, all the typical enterprise problems that we were seeing. And 2018, when we had an opportunity, we said, this is the time. Let's just start something on our own. And that's how things started. That's how Siemba started.
Oh, very cool. Home Depot, and you guys came from...
Yes, and yes. Strong retail background.
Awesome.
I can maybe elaborate on that story a little bit. But Ansel and Jeff, first of all, at the very outset, thank you so much for having us. This experience in Bentonville has been nothing but spectacular. This is the 7th week, and all the mentors, all the people whom we have interacted with, right from people waiting for us to cross the road, in their cars, to everyone has been so nice and supportive, and it speaks a lot about the community here. So incredibly honored and privileged to spend some time here and interact with all of you. The Fuel experience has been tremendous. So thanks to the Wharton Family Foundation, Arkansas Economic Development Council.
Thank you so much.
For organizing this and giving us the opportunity to learn so much from all of you. Just to double click on what Sandhya mentioned, like when we were working at the Home Depot, and both of us have enterprise backgrounds. We were working for large organizations like Lowe's, McKesson, State of Georgia, Kimberly-Clark in our past careers. We've always seen that scalability is an issue, not just with cybersecurity, but with a lot of with any domain. And the whole 2015 to 2020 era, when a lot of breaches started happening, and cybersecurity became from a nice to have to a must have, with CISOs raising in prominence within organizations. There was a lot of reactive approaches that were being deployed into cybersecurity because people were not ready. They're reacting to what was happening. So it was at that time that Sandhya and I got together and ideated on few solutions that could really optimize your return on investment as well as your return on risk mitigation for organizations. So we initially started developing something different but very similar to what we have now. But as with anything, we had quit our jobs and just started developing it when COVID started. So we had to kind of put the whole thing on pause and really focus on cash flow because we were bootstrapped. And it was just about winning customers in the early days so that we could sustain this dream. So that happened. We were able to get back to the product that we were visualizing, but with a lot of modifications. But glad that that journey happened and we are here today.
Oh, that's if I may, I'm just going to jump in here because I'm fascinated by your stories thus far. I'm interested to know, when did you bring AI into it, and is it solely an AI sort of enterprise solution, or is there a human element to what you're doing?
So penetration testing by definition involves a human being conducting the test, a certified ethical hacker. And this is important because at the end of the day, somebody has to audit and attest that they have tested this at this point in time. And based on their inspection, everything looks good, or they have identified certain issues which needs to be remediated. And once it has been remediated, it has been retested. So there is an attestation process. Now, by virtue of this having a human involvement in it, it takes a long process, long duration from start to end, right? So there are areas in which we can bring in efficiencies through automation as well as through autonomous capabilities. So we have taken this entire process and looked at what are the areas where we could bring in efficiencies using automated capabilities as well as autonomous capabilities. So to answer your question, Jeff, yes, there is a human element, but there are also hygiene checks and balances which can be done completely autonomously.
Pentesting by itself is a very creative job. The way you approach the problem and you try to see, hey, what are the different ways we can hack into the system or into this application, by itself is a very creative job, and anything creative becomes a little harder when you bring AI into picture. So but the penetration process itself is pretty, it can be lengthy, depending on the size of the application and the number of user roles we are dealing with. So automation can become a very powerful ally, and that's where AI plays a big role. But to kind of go back to what Kannan said, you cannot fully replace the human element of pen testing, but AI will be a very powerful ally.
And if I may just ask, it seems like it's a broad market for you. Where do you start? I mean, is it the financial segments, or is it government? Where do you, or is everything a possibility for you?
So security use cases are pretty consistent across most domains, be it healthcare, fintech, government. But what makes them unique for each domain are the compliance requirements in each of these areas. So whether it's PCI for fintech, HIPAA in healthcare, SOC 2 Type 2 for a lot of the B2B software organizations, or different federal or state government mandates, most of them mandate a lot of security controls. And penetration testing is one of the mandatory controls that are outlined in almost all of these different compliance frameworks. Now, this compliance aspect has been what traditionally drove the penetration testing activity. But what has happened over the last few years is the emergence of numerous threat actors, both private as well as nation state, which is on a continuous basis launching attacks and releasing new versions of malware out into the market. So what was traditionally driven by compliance is now being driven by or accelerated by security. And the other aspect is that software is being released on a much more frequent basis now. Previously, everyone followed a waterfall approach. Now it is a much more agile approach where software is released every 4 to 6 weeks, and hot fixes and updates going almost on a daily or every other day basis. And you want to make sure that you're resilient and you're not exposing your data through any unintended activities that you're doing. It could be totally be by accident, and the only way you can kind of prevent this is by continuously testing. And in continuously testing, that is where we have two problems. One is a problem of scale, where how do large organizations continuously test their asset landscape on a regular basis? And the second thing is a talent problem, because there are only so many ethical hackers available. How do you deploy this talent to support the scale? And this is where automation, autonomous testing, the whole involvement of AI and ML comes into picture. So what we are doing through Siemba is essentially making sure that whatever can be automated or can be executed in an autonomous fashion can be done leveraging AI. And this is where you not just using AI to conduct the execution of the test cases, but also to enrich the results that come out of it, helping organizations with prioritization as well as with false positive elimination. So applying AI at different levels, at different parts of the process, will help us to accelerate this process tremendously, as well as enable organizations to do this at scale.
And time is the essence when it comes to security, and that's where AI, we see, will play a huge role, because it will help you plan better, find vulnerabilities more quickly, because there will be patterns that we are creating that will look for those pattern matches and resolve issues in a timely manner. Because if you see in the past, it's always ignoring something or missing something and not acting on time, and people end up paying a huge price. So I think AI plays a huge role there.
So you guys talked about, you guys have been working together pre-COVID and really developing a business. And so have you, with this product, you've got some proof of concepts that you're working on, or you got some, you've got this installed, or you're in development? Kind of where are you in the phase of your product and go to market?
So we launched the first version of our product last year this time. We have customers on the product. So essentially what exists right now is a pentest as a service platform, PTaaS, which is an emerging technology in Gartner's security operations hype cycle. What we are adding to the PTaaS platform is the autonomous testing capabilities. So that is in pilot right now, and we should be onboarding customers pretty soon. And we are very excited about that. So as of now, the ability that our customers have in the platform is the ability to log into the platform, schedule their tests, consume the reports, go ahead and remediate issues that have been identified. And this is all, it might seem like a simple activity, but the whole idea is to make this activity more collaborative and more near real time. In the past, when you engaged a pen testing organization, be it a consultant or a vendor or a partner, what used to happen is that they would take all the inputs needed for conducting the pen test and go ahead and do the pen test in a silo. It could be 2 weeks, 2 months, 3 months. And at the end of the whole activity, you basically get a PDF report, which you have to take back to your internal organization, copy paste the findings into your internal tools, and then chase the different stakeholders to go ahead and remediate it. Versus if they leverage a platform like ours, the advantage is that they are gaining immediate visibility into any security findings that have been identified. So you don't have to wait 2 months or 3 months. The very second a finding is logged, it is peer reviewed, it is approved, and it goes into the customer's dashboard, and they're able to take immediate action. The same thing with generating reports. You can generate on-demand reports at any given point in time. So if you have a compliance audit going on, you can give the report based on the current status. You don't have to chase people to come back with reports that would meet different compliance frameworks.
Another point that I would like to add is we have an array of customers. So we have enterprises with their own security teams, and we also have startups who are just, waking up to security. So they don't have a security team. They don't have, even a security personnel to help them see if their coding is right, if they're following the best practices. So, in such situations, when we have a finding and we provide a detailed, description of how to fix this, the remediation plan, which includes even, videos, steps to reproduce, they come in very handy to our customers. And this is an attestation from the customers as well. And that's the real value add on the Siemba platform, which we believe that you can not only be on top of all the vulnerabilities that we are seeing on your application, but then you'll be able to bring in different people, whether you're developers, or if you have a security champion or your full-blown security team, you can bring them all in one platform and kind of fix it, going back to the same point that I made, that time is the essence when it comes to security. So that's a huge value add that Siemba is bringing in.
Great. Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, I just think it's excellent. I don't really, it's way over my head. I know that cybersecurity is a big problem for all these enterprises. I mean, there's people trying to hack into seemingly every day. I'm sure you've caught many of them. At least I'm hoping that you have. I would just say that as we start looking at landing the plane here, I love the name of your company, Siemba, one of my favorite movies, The Lion King. So congratulations on launching, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Jeff. It's also my favorite movie. So the name actually has its origins in the movie. It's Lion King, Siemba, and also SIEM stands for Security Incident and Event Monitoring, and that was aligned with the original product that we were trying to develop at that, like 4 years back. But it's really Sim and Siemba, and as you know, Siemba signifies a lot of humble confidence and the intention to do the right thing and to protect the community, right? So,
right. The second generation will be Nala, I'm sure. I'm thinking that's what we gotta get. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Sandhya.
Sorry. No, I was saying that a shout out to our team as well. We call them the pride of Siemba. All the team members, we just say, welcome to our pride.
That's great. That's awesome. Well,
That
thanks
is
for being here.
awesome. And so, hey, to find out more about you and your product, your website is Siemba?
Siemba.io, Siemba.io.
All right. And they can, if anyone wants to reach out to you, they can do that there, as well as they can connect with you directly on LinkedIn.
Yes, both of us are on LinkedIn, and we would welcome the opportunity to connect with your listeners and tell them more about what we do. So once again, Ansel and Jeff, thank you so much for having us here. This was it's a huge privilege for us, and also thanks to the Fuel Accelerator program and Arkansas Economic Development Council one more time. Thank you.